Hi, y'all. So, what we're now we are transitioning to European colonization of the Caribbean and North America. This probably will be three different videos. The first one will be on the Caribbean. The second will be comparing British and French North America. And then the last one will be the Anglo French rivalry. But with that said, very significant. You see this map. This, for me as a historian, really is the story of the birth of the modern world. The Caribbean and these sugar factories. Almost immediately, the Europeans realized the Caribbean was perfect for sugar plantations. And really, in these areas here, the sugar plantations became the chief commodity being produced. And these sugar factories were really significant. These areas will over farm the soil. I want to point out sugar is not indigenous in this area. It originated in India, but once the Europeans came here, they're like, hot dog, this is perfect. Let's do this. And really, there is a professor, David Singerman, who is making the argument that sugar is what created the capitalist system. If you want more information on that, Dr. Singerman does have a book. I will share that in class later. But this sugar is going to dramatically transform these areas, these islands, into sugar factories. Before this time period, the indigenous Americans, they lived as what we call extensive farmers. The agriculture, they were hunter gatherers. They did grow some crops, but for the most part, they were extensive. They weren't attempting to create plantations. Well, once the plantations came here, once they formed those fences, once they started tilling that land, now it changed the nature of the agriculture in the ecosystem. Very important. I'll probably be a little bit more specific in class, but you need to know that the sugar factories, not really factory, they're plantations, but they will fundamentally change the ecosystems of this area because of the fences and the tilling of land. No longer were people able to be extensive farmers. They're going to have to be depending on intensive farming. Malaria kept the European settlers out, causing the planters to exploit the transatlantic slave trade. Believe it or not, the majority of the enslaved will come in this area. I know we focus so much on the 13 colonies in slavery. Yes, it has a dramatic impact here, but the majority of the enslaved are going to live and die on these islands. We may talk a little bit about that later. We may do a special unit on Haiti. I'm not sure yet. Here's a painting of what maybe a little bit too romantic, but this is a sugar factory in 1823. We see the windmill, we see the enslaved working, we see the planter dude over here, probably not working very hard. But again, this is such a significant moment in history that everything changed in the Caribbean. We're going to see the indigenous peoples become extinct for the most part. The concept of extensive farming is gone, and that intensive farming, the plantation culture, is going to fundamentally change the ecosystem in the land. And I'm not sure, like somewhere like a sugar factory like Haiti, I'm not sure to what extent can they economically recover from that, and we'll see that later. I'm going to pause here